Kruz, it's only right you get the first question. First start, what was it like hearing your name called and finally getting a starting intro?
It definitely felt good. It felt good, but for me, I don't really pay too much attention whether I'm starting or coming off the bench. I just want to win. Do whatever I got to do to win.
Kaleb, season high 18 points for you tonight. Just talk about what was going right for you tonight after obviously a couple of games where Coach was getting on you a little bit.
I mean, my first couple minutes was going great for me offensively. So I hit a three and hit some layups. Did shot well from the free throw line today, which I was proud of. I've been kind of inconsistent with that all year. But basically just last game I scored 0, and this game I scored 18, so I'm just proud of how I responded.
And then for either of you guys, talk about the team's defensive effort, especially in that first half, where you guys were just holding them to an unbelievably low field goal percentage.
Yeah, like last game we was not proud of our defense at all. So we had coaches, players meetings about that, and we just have more effort and playing harder on that end of the court. The end of the court. So I think we proved it tonight. What you think, Kruz?
I agree. It's definitely been an emphasis for us these last 2 days to really lock in on the defensive end, and I felt like we showed that a little bit tonight.
This is for either of you, but how are you all feeling after such a dominant win like this?
It feels great. These wins, it's gonna feel great in a moment. I feel great right now, but I'm just thinking about shifting my focus towards Wichita State. That's going to be a tough away game, tough challenge for us right before conference play. So winning that game is more important because it's giving us momentum going into conference play.
That's it.
Listen, really good effort by our guys. I thought across the board, really good effort. A lot of ways. Clean game offensively, clean game defensively, really good effort and purpose defensively, much better, more sustained effort in the first half. Coaches are always going to poke at things we got to get better at, but I'll leave that for us to talk about. But some really good things tonight. Good to see guys make shots. Good to see ourselves impose ourselves defensively, we've got quite the schedule ahead of us for the next few months. So it was good to have a good practice yesterday and play well today.
Chris, to that point, you mentioned the other day, guys struggling with confidence offensively. How important was it to have a game like this where you got 10 players score, especially with 2 true road tests coming up?
Yeah, it was really important. I think it's good to see guys, put the ball through the basket. Listen, I think, in our game, really in sports in general, one of the hardest things is to play with a free mind. And when players play with a free mind and with no agenda, we talk about playing agendaless basketball. There is no other agenda right now in their minds outside of them helping their teammates, brothers, play as well as they can in that possession. Play without any other agenda. And when you do that and you lose yourself in the team and you lose yourself in what the team needs, man, it frees you up just to play your best. It frees you up to sometimes find your way out of offensive struggles, just frees you up to play your best. And I thought we had guys really focused on tonight on just playing without an agenda and finding a way to help their team perform at a really high level. And sometimes, good things happen when you do that. You make shots because you play with a free mind.
And, Coach, just wanted to ask you about Kaleb tonight. Obviously, season high 18 points. Just what did you like from him as he continues to get, like you mentioned, his confidence as one of the guys under him?
Yeah, I think he was aggressive. I thought he was detailed defensively. He's still got to be able to guard the ball and play without fouling. That's what he struggles with right now. But he's a kid who's a good shooter. We've seen that. He's shooting 39% going into the game. That'll go up. Got to the free throw line. Just loved his aggressiveness tonight.
Chris, NJ limped off second half. What's kind of his status and going forward?
So he tweaked his ankle last game, and then he tweaked it again in this game. And, Mike, our trainer, just said, let's sit him out for the rest of the game. So I don't think it's anything, significant. But, we do have a little guy. We're a little banged up right now, so we didn't want to run the risk of putting him back in there.
And then, Chris, to that point of being banged up, no Fabian tonight, no Brandon. Kind of, what are both their statuses?
I think it's both really limited. I mean, they're both. It's nothing significant in either guy, so I would expect that both of those guys will return to play, whether it's the next game or maybe it's a couple games. I don't know, but I don't think it's not a long-term thing for either player.
And then on the defensive side of the floor, Kaleb, when he was in here, he's mentioning defense was kind of the focus of the meetings the last couple days. What was the message you were hoping to get across after the games you guys have had to have a performance like you guys did tonight?
Well, we have no chance if we can't stop people. We got no chance. So we don't have a chance. At some point, they've got to own that, and they've got to own it in practice every day. I thought we were really good in practice, and we've had good defensive efforts, throughout this year at times. But we haven't been able to sustain it for maybe as long as we did today. As the competition picks up, we'll see if that can continue to improve throughout the season. I think this next month's going to be really important for our defense to improve, and clearly our rebounding's got to continue to grow on both ends.
Coach, obviously we talked about him last game, but Ilya, again, plus 26 tonight, 3 assists, 6 points, also had 2 steals, another deflection that became a steal for somebody else. Talk about his efforts tonight.
Yeah, he moves the ball out there. I think that's the one thing. He moves the ball, and I think he's getting, in a little bit better rhythm right now is what I think maybe you're seeing, I'm seeing, we're all seeing. He's just getting a little bit more comfortable, a little bit better rhythm. Those international guys, it's a little different for him, he didn't even know how to sub in the first game. So there's just a lot of different stuff right now. You saw Fabian tip it in one of the games, off the rim. There's a lot for those guys to think about. So I think he's starting to get a little more comfortable. I think he's understanding a little bit more what we expect. And the good thing about Illy is he's got a talk about agenda. He is really agenda. His agenda is I want to help my team. That's it. There's nothing else going on in that kid's mind other than that. So it frees him up to just come in and play 5 minutes well or 10 minutes well or 15, and I think that's what our expectation is for him.
And then, Chris, with your first true road test coming up on Saturday, how do you kind of take momentum because you're going into an environment this group hasn't played together? And how do you kind of try to take this momentum and have it travel on the road?
Have you watched a game at Wichita?
I have not, no.
It's an unbelievable environment. It's one of the hardest environments in college basketball. It is an unbelievable fan base and crowd. So it will feel very much like a league game that is, it's going to be one of the more hostile environments we'll play in the entire year. And that'll be a great first opportunity for us to see how we respond to that. They're a good team too. They're much better than they were last year. Not that they were bad last year, but they're a good team. It's going to be a fun, great challenge for us.
Obviously, you mostly hit on it, but I just remember last year you talked about Wichita State, how you consider them a power conference program. I'm just going to talk about the challenge of going and playing there, especially after they're going to remember last year how you guys treated them in the second half.
Yeah, no, I think that was you're exactly right. You're exactly right. Again, it's going to be. I think it'll be our greatest challenge of the season. To be honest with you, playing in that environment, really good team, having beat them at our place last year, it'll be our greatest challenge as a group up to this point for sure. And we need to have a readiness about us. We'll talk about playing on the road, what that looks like, but we really need to experience it. And they're I've only watched them. I watched them in a little bit in the Bahamas, and they were good. They played St. Mary's really well. I think our guys will really look forward to that.
I mean, obviously, this is a bit more off the beaten path relative to the questions we've been asking tonight, but since you kind of mentioned some of the scheduling stuff in your previous media availability, do you intend in future years to potentially schedule another home-and-home with a mid-major plus team or one of those borderline P5 teams down the road? Is that kind of something you've given thought to?
Do you have somebody in mind?
I'm just wondering if that's something that you intend to do, like just every year. We have like one home and home with a mid. I'm just curious.
You're talking about like a team from like an American.
Yeah, just like an American A10 Mountain West, something like that.
Yeah. No, I just kind of wondering.
Yeah.
No, at this point, I say that. Yeah, it's possible. I'm trying to think who we're in conversations with right now. I told you we signed a contract with an ACC. I think I said that last call, maybe with an ACC program for home and home. And that ACC program is going to be a top, it's going to join probably 30, 35 program in the country right now. So that'll be a great one. Yeah, our schedule, is as we intended from, when Dwayne hired me, it's going to get progressively. You don't want to overschedule. Teams can do that too, but it's going to get more and more challenging. And next year, I think will be by far our most challenging schedule. But yeah, we are talking to a couple teams from a couple of those leagues. We don't have anything confirmed yet.
Gotcha.
All right. Any other questions? Okay, guys. Thank you. Take care.